Hi guys, Richard here, and welcome to a new room. The rain is raining, the wind is blowing, but in here the fire is roaring and it's really cozy, just right for me to tell you about a new recording adventure that I'm going on tomorrow. I'm heading down to the southwest of England to Truro Cathedral to record the organ. Very excited, as usual, but I'm also very nervous about this because it's the first time that I've recorded somebody else playing the organ. A lot of pressure on me to get this right. So in this mini series, I'm going to be taking you along the journey with me. I'll take you into Truro and I'll show you around the cathedral, I'll show you the organ, I'll show you how I'm setting up the microphones and where I place them. But you'll also hear my thoughts, my anxieties, and what I'm thinking about the whole process. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So why am I heading down to Truro Cathedral? Well, I'm heading down there to record their cathedral organist. He is the Assistant Director of Music, Andrew Wyatt. A very, very good player indeed, a very fine player. He's going to play for me a number of pieces, Bach, and he's also going to play the Roibke 94th Psalm, the sonata on that psalm. It's one of the staple pieces in the organ repertoire, and I've got a feeling that he's going to play it extremely well. And the organ down there, I think, will just sound sensational. When I was a teenager, I was such an organ geek and such an organ enthusiast. I used to travel around England with my parents, and we used to go into various cathedrals with the sole purpose of looking at, and if we were lucky, hearing the organ. I used to go in and look up and see these wonderful organs, wonderful pipes surrounded by amazing architecture and this wonderful acoustic. And I used to see something that was just so unobtainable, something just otherworldly. The only way I thought that I could possibly get close to these instruments was through recordings. This is the first CD I ever bought. It's of Ian Tracy playing the organ of Liverpool Cathedral, bought in a Liverpool Cathedral. I've got a recording here of John Scott playing St Paul's. That's one of my favourite CDs. And another recording here of John Scott Whiteley playing the organ of York Minster. Now, John Scott Whiteley signed this CD sleeve for me back when I was a teenager. Best wishes, John Scott Whiteley, 31st of October 1999. Little did I know that 7 years later I would be John's organ scholar, and little did I know in 2021, quite a few years later, that I would be the one recording these discs, these CDs. It's obviously not going to be a disc or a CD, but it will be on the channel as a video. We need to make sure we capture it well, don't we? So the Roibke 94th Psalm will be recorded using these microphones. I've actually got 4 Neumann KM184 microphones. These guys are considered to be the best in the business for instrument recording. There are 2 options really. Having these placed around the organ, either have 2 separate stereo pairs or have them in a long sort of line of single microphones. I'll get more into that in the next video. I also have these Neumann TLM 170s. These are the best microphones you can get, as far as I could see, for an omnidirectional sound. What that means is it's a 360-degree sound capture. Perfect, surely, to put in the body of the nave to capture the acoustic, whilst these microphones are closer, capturing the clarity, the detail of the organ. These are going to be further back, capturing the acoustic. I think the combination of fairly close sound given by these, combined with the distance of these, capturing the ensemble of the instruments, will be fantastic. Now, I've also got the cameras, so I've got GoPros here, I've got 2 GoPro 8s, GoPro 7 and a GoPro 4. That one's quite old and sometimes lets me down, so that's basically used as a last resort. I've got a Lumix GH5 with a wide angle lens which you're looking at me through right now. This is the camera that normally sits over my shoulder and captures the organ console. You know, the really wide, sort of close but wide angle. Super clear. I have another Lumix GH5 here. This one has a standard lens, but this one is fantastic for distant. You can place it at a distance away from the source and able to zoom right in using the optical zoom and capture whatever it is you're recording in the highest quality. So these microphones are new. This GoPro 8 is new. And this audio interface is also new. I've also built this rack as well. I'm so excited about the whole experience that I've built a rack to put this audio interface in. It is a Focusrite 1820. So it's a Gen 3 if you're interested in that sort of thing. And I use a Gen 1 on my organ through there. I've got spare cables here in case any of my current ones break. I've got these gimbals. I've got 2 gimbals. Great thing about these gimbals is it allows us to capture a really smooth flowing video. I've got the infamous laptop here, which you may recognize from days gone by. This is the old Hauptwerk laptop, which now has a new SSD hard drive. It's been reformatted since we used to use it for Hauptwerk and works really well for mobile recording. It also fits on my rack like that. I have a photography light here, which obviously we need to make sure the organist is well lit. I have clamps here. These are for the GoPro, so we can attach those to basically anything and they'll go anywhere. So I've got all the equipment, but it's just my nerves. What I'm thinking about this is, yes, I'm really excited about the whole thing. I've got a fabulous setup of equipment here, a wonderful organist playing, one of the best organs in the country, one of the nicest acoustics in the country, all of that sort of good stuff, but then there's me. That's why I'm nervous, because I don't want to be the person who lets it down. The sound engineer, recording engineer has to be on top of everything. Everything has to work, so the artist, whoever it is, an organist or a singer or whatever instrument they're playing, can turn up, focus on the music, not be distracted by any technical issue, and play without thinking about anything else. That's so important. So I'm so keen that Andrew can focus on the music and nothing else, basically. What I'm also really excited about is the idea that I can bring you guys along on the journey. With these sorts of CDs, they would appear on a shelf at some point. You've no idea how they were recorded, where the microphones were placed, and the work that went into creating such wonderful discs. But I want to be able to share the whole experience with you, so you know the microphones that I'm using, you know the cameras that I'm using. In the next video, we'll be talking about how I think I might place the microphones in the cathedral and why, how we'll place the video cameras and why. So I do hope that you'll join me through this mini-series of recording the wonderful organ at Truro Cathedral. Help me along, because I am very nervous about it, but I am very excited about it. It's a new venture that we want to be doing on the channel. I want to be recording more people playing real organs around the world. So this is the first, it's a premiere. So until next time, where we'll be on our way down to Truro, I will say cheerio. Goodbye.